Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. This presentation is about my research project and dissertation. It's called Wagging Woofs and Calmer Days, a canine interaction and effect on anxiety across the lifespan. So before we begin, I just want to introduce myself. So my name is Anita. I'm a MSc counseling student at Bonn University. Before the master's degree, I've done undergrad in psychology and childhood and youth studies. The love of animals has always been a thing for me. I've grown up around dogs. I had cats, dogs, chickens, hamsters, and other animals you can think of. Currently, I do have some chickens, and I also do have a dog called Nero, as you can see in the picture. So, my interest in this study was inspired by Nero himself, as I do love dogs, and I do want to hoping to have a therapy dog one day in the future. However, I never really looked into the effect on mental health, on anything like that around pets and dogs itself. So for this project, I will talk about the introduction, my research into the background. I will talk about method, results section, discussion, and conclusion. So when I think of dogs, I think of Nero. And as you can see in this video, Nero is a happy, energetic little dog. He loves to zoom around the house when he's very happy, and it does give me a joy, and it just makes me laugh and and just love him when he does it. It's just so funny. And it does show that he's a very happy dog and he enjoys life. So, talking about the project, I always like to go into the history of things. So, I looked into history of dogs, where they come from, and how they evolved. So, as we know, dogs come from wolves. They were the wild wolves that we know of, and throughout thousands and thousands of years, they were domesticated into the dogs we know today. They were changed, they were developed, they were crossbred, and they became who they are today. However, even though they were part of our history and our society and all around the world, they never really seen as part of the therapeutic setting until the 1700s. Florence Nightingale started to incorporate small animals into a mental health institution to see it as a therapeutic intervention. However, it was still not recognized as a therapeutic intervention at that time. However, later in the 1900s, Levinson introduced what he called pet therapy, which was later developed into animal-assisted therapy or canine-assisted therapy, which involves a trained dog who provides a therapeutic intervention to people who will have mental health issues or in hospitals to provide them with provide care and improve loneliness and other things. So I did have a quote from Florence Nightingale, which says, "A small pet animal is often an excellent companion for the sick, for long chronic cases especially. A pet bird in a cage is sometimes the only pleasure of an invalid confined for years to the same room. If he can feed and clean the animal himself, he will always be encouraged to do so." So Nightingale didn't talk about dogs itself, but she mentioned pets. And it means that all animals can provide the same things that a dog can provide, that they can become our companions, they can become someone who will be careful. So we know that dogs have therapeutic benefits, but what are their roles? So dogs are, as you know, they are highly social by nature, and they do have an ability to form bonds with humans. And for that, they did become a viable subject for research. Also, the research suggests that dogs can provide an unconditional source of affection, enhance self-esteem, emotional stability, and reduce loneliness. They also can help with health benefits. It can reduce blood pressure, it can improve mood, reduce anxiety, lower stress levels, but it can also help with pain relief, over heart rate and other things, especially in the hospital settings where stress is more, people are more in stressed situation. So for that, animal assisted therapy is more used in a hospital setting. Also, another thing I was looking into is age. So looking at younger people and older people. So there was two research I was looking at. One was with younger people. They were children, but they're all around teenage age who had issues with attachment. Most of them had with insecure attachment, which caused them to have bad behaviors. So they introduced bad activities. So introduced the dog in a they did activities with, and they found that it did enhance cognitive and social emotional learning. It reduced depression and fostered confidence. On the other hand, with older people, they introduced dogs into retirement homes or care homes, and as we know, older people more tend to be more prone to loneliness and isolation from the world because they don't have the family around, and or they lost a partner, and for that they end up in a retirement home or in a care home. And when we introduced the dog into the setting, they found that it did reduce their loneliness and social isolation and improve their well-being, and they seem more social, they talk more to the other people around and improve their overall sense of well-being. I also wanted to look into some activities. So I was focusing on play and walking, and petting. So as we know, walking does have physical benefits. It does help with the dog as well. It helps you yourself as well with physical activity. It also improves mental health, and it helps socialize with other dog owners and dogs with stuff, socialize with other dogs. It also helps with bonding. On the other hand, playing has more benefits to dogs, and it can help their cognitive function, physical health, and other things. As Nero, you can see, loves playing a lot, and it can also improve the relationship with the owner. It can create a strong bond, and they have a companionship. And lastly, petting. So petting is something that relaxes you, and it was found that it reduces stress, and it does help with bonding and gives you the social support. It does relaxes you and reduces anxiety. So I looked at all these aspects of the research area, and I did found that there is not much on putting all the things together. Most research are based on therapeutic settings, but not much on dog ownerships and how having a dog can help your anxiety levels. So I wanted to include all things together, also looking at age as well. So I came up with two hypotheses, and sorry for my pronunciation. So my first one was anxiety levels will be significantly reduced following interaction with the dog, with petting demonstrating the most reduction and walking the least. The order of the anxiety reduction by dog-related activity behavior following petting, playing, and walking. For my second one, age will moderate the effectiveness of dog-related activities on anxiety levels, with dog walking being more effective in reducing anxiety among older individuals, while playing with the dog will be more effective among younger individuals. So let's see if this was done. This is this section. So we did have 3 questionnaires. We created 3 questionnaires, which was posted online and through social media. We had posters. It was a university website, and we managed to gather quite a few participants. However, I only focused on the second and third questionnaire for this project. And when we cleaned up the data, we managed to get 39 participants. We only included everyone over 18, we excluded anybody who didn't finish the questionnaire, had allergies, had a fear of dogs, and I also excluded training and grooming. So I did not focus on those two activities. That's because there was not as many participants for that. So I created a quantitative design with mixed measures of 2 by 3 by 3. So I looked at time, the before and after. I looked at different age groups, which was 18 to 35, 36 to 55, and 56 over. And I looked at activities, which was playing, petting, and walking. So to get these informations, we asked the participants to, after they done the first questionnaire, to do the second one. And in the second one, they had to fill out a anxiety measure, which was calm. I will show you in the next slide what it looks like. And after they done the questionnaire, they were asked to do one of the 5 activities and do an activity with their dog for 20 minutes. After they done the activity, they were asked to do the questionnaire 3, which was the same questionnaire with the anxiety measures. So we got the before and after. This project was approved by Ethics Committee and Bangor University, and he also followed the BSAP ethical framework, so they were all approved and we followed the guidelines. So when I mean this is what the calm currently anxiety level measure, or calm as we call it, looks like. So he has 16 questions. They are focused on anxiety. And next you can see the calm scale. So these are the scorings. And they had to do this twice, the participants, the before and after. So what the results are. So when after cleaning everything up and getting the final scores, we got 17 people doing petting, 11 people doing playing, 11 doing walking. Also, putting them in age groups, we had 12 doing 18 to 30, between 18 and 13, 14 people between 36 and 55, and 13 people over 56. So this is the results. This is for the hypothesis 1. So in this one, I just looked at the activities and before and after. So the mean scores, these are the mean scores for each activity and anxiety levels. And as you can see, the most anxiety level reduction was in petting, and then playing and walking. So my hypothesis was that playing going to be the most. But it will end up being petting. So my hypothesis was half right. And walking was the least that decreased anxiety in the end. So like I said, it was like half right, but it does reduce anxiety in all 3 activities. So my other one, my hypothesis 2, was correct. So this table shows the before and after for each activity and for each age group. And it showed that anxiety levels did lower for all age groups and for all activities. And the most reduction was in petting for 18 to 35. The least we can see was in playing for 56 and over. And 36 and 55 was around the same for every activity. And the 56 over had the most reduction in walking compared to the other 2 activities. And for 18 to 35 age group was walking had the least reduction. But overall, all activities did reduce the anxiety levels. So going for discussion. So what does the result mean? So as I said, the hypothesis was not fully correct, but it did show that anxiety levels reduced for all 3 activities. Betting had the most significant difference based on the scores, playing had the slightly less impact, and walking had the least impact. For the second hypothesis was correct, Anxiety were reduced for all age groups and all activities. Petting has shown a significant reduction among younger people. Walking has shown a significant reduction of anxiety among older people. And like I said, between the two age groups, the 36 to 55 was somewhere in the middle. What does this imply? So the results imply that having a dog in a household does benefit our mental health. Interacting with a dog will lower anxiety levels for people of all ages. Some activity shows a greater increase in anxiety levels than others. So why this could be? So every generation, every age group have different experience of life. Younger age groups are into going into the working class and they do experience more anxieties or more stress. And as we see, petting does reduce these anxieties, reduces stress, and gives emotional support. For the generations, they do need more physical activity because they are afraid of become disabled. They can't move around, so they do go outside more. So for them, walking probably more useful for them, and it also helps them with social connection because they are more prone to loneliness. So they can talk with other dog owners and people walking, saying hi to people around and stuff like that. For the middle-aged, well, as we see, there is some reduction, but they are not as big as with other two age groups because they do have their stresses, they do have other issues that's going on, and they might be more focused on work and other things rather than the pets. So for the future, how can we involve dogs how can we work from here? So one thing I was thinking of involving dogs in a therapy room. Well, this is already a thing that it's done, but involving more and more dogs into therapy, into counseling rooms, and as we've seen in research that it does have the benefits on mental health and well-being, and it does improve anxiety, it improves mood and other things. So having them in the room with a client can have benefits on them. However, we have to bear in mind that not every client likes dogs. We can also promote pets for clients, meaning that we can promote if the client does have a dog, promote like telling them to go interact with their dog more because it can have them in a stressful situation and they can help them calm them down, and also when they're anxious, just going promote it to like go pet them or play with them or whatever. Lastly, creating activities for that they involve dogs. This could be having activities where they play with dog or go outside together, have a therapy session, or also starting to include children, so under 18s, which is not involved in this project, but it can be involved in future studies. And it can promote, socializing and other benefits. So overall, this project was very interesting. As we've seen that anxiety does lowers as we interact with a dog. So dogs are, as we say, our companions. They give us an unconditional love. They give us the support that we need. However, we have to bear in mind not every people will see dogs that way, and the scores, the results can't be necessarily generalized to everybody because it is not a big sample. It's not hundreds and hundreds of people. So, but it does give a open door for future research into it and maybe introduce more research studies, more age groups and so on, more activities, see what benefits, what doesn't for people. So coming to the end of the presentation, I thank you all and thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and I just want to quickly show you a couple of pictures of my lovely dog Nero. He doesn't like taking pictures, but I had to force him. He's such a beautiful little being. And for listening. This is your Francis, and hope you enjoy.